gun jam, but the weird thing about it is he goes into a Starbucks, which shows inexperience. If you're planning on killing somebody, why would you go into Starbucks before doing it? That's so stupid. So here's a little bit of backstory on who he was and how he got to work for United Healthcare. Thompson, age 50, was named CEO of United Healthcare, United Health Group's insurance arm, in April 2021. He first joined United Health Group in 2004 and previously served as CEO of the company's government programs, including Medicare and retiree coverage, and community and state programs providing Medicaid and other types of coverage to millions of individuals. In his most recent role as CEO of United Healthcare, he is responsible for leading growth across the company's global employer, individual specialty, and government benefits businesses. Thompson held other positions over 20 years at the company, including Chief Financial Officer for United Healthcare's employer and individual, community and state, and Medicare and retirement business. He also served as Financial Controller for United Healthcare's employer and individual business, and was a director in the company's corporate development division. For a top executive at a $562 billion company that affects how millions of Americans get healthcare, Thompson kept a relatively low profile. At an investor meeting last year, he outlined United Health's shift to value-based care, paying doctors and other caregivers to keep patients healthy, rather than focus on treating them when they get sick. Well, that's actually kind of a W, right? Trying to teach people to not eat fast food and all that shit, you know what I mean? I'm guilty of that. I eat fast food too much. In 2023, Thompson earned $10.2 million. Bro was caked up, okay? We are deeply saddened and shocked at the passing of our dear friend and colleague Brian Thompson, the CEO of United Healthcare. Brian was a highly respected colleague and friend to all who worked with him. He had a wife and 2 sons.
This does not appear to be a random act of violence. The victim was in New York City to speak at an investor conference. It appears the suspect was lying in wait for several minutes. And as the victim was walking to the conference hotel, the suspect approached from behind and fired several rounds, striking the victim at least once in the back and at least once in the right calf. Many people passed the suspect, but he appeared to wait for his intended target. The suspect fled, first on foot, then on an e-bike, and was last seen in Central Park on Center Drive early this morning.
So this guy murdered this person from behind, hopped on a bike and did.
The victim was removed to Roosevelt Hospital, where he was pronounced. Increase the reward in this case to $10,000. I want to be clear. At this time, every indication is that this was a premeditated, pre-planned, targeted attack.
What we know is that the shooter arrived at the location on foot about 5 minutes prior to the victim's arrival. He stands alongside the building line as numerous other people and pedestrians pass him by. From video, we see at 6:44 a.m., the victim is walking alone towards the Hilton after exiting his hotel across the street. We believe the victim was headed to the Hilton Hotel to attend the United Health Group Investors Conference that was scheduled to start at 8 a.m. The shooter appears to be a light-skinned male. He's wearing a light brown or cream-colored jacket, a black face mask, black and white sneakers, and a very distinctive gray backpack. The shooter steps onto the sidewalk from behind the car. He ignores numerous other pedestrians, approaches the victim from behind, and shoots him in the back. The shooter then walks toward the victim and continues to shoot. It appears that the gun malfunctions as he clears the jam and begins to fire again. The shooter then flees on foot northbound into an alleyway between 54th Street and 55th Street. Once at West 55th Street, the shooter continues to walk westbound on Avenue Americas, where he gets onto an electric E-City bike and rides northbound on the Avenue Americas towards Central Park, where at 6:48 a.m., we have the shooter riding this bike into Central Park at Center Drive.
This is fucking crazy.
5 9mm rounds and 3 discharged 9mm shell casings. The motive for this murder currently is unknown, but based on the evidence we have so far, it does appear that the victim was specifically targeted. But at this point, we do not know why. This does not appear to be a random act of violence. We are seeking information from the public that will help identify the shooter. As the commissioner said, we have upped the reward up to $10,000 for information. You're urged to contact Crime Stoppers at 1-800-577-TIPS. All information will be kept anonymous. Thank you very much.
All right, well, is there any indication that he was going to meet someone? Because it's pretty early. Is he on his way to meet someone there at the conference?
He leaves the hotel dressed like he's going to be attending the conference. We're working with his co-workers and other people that he planned on attending the conference with to get that information. But as of right now, he's in charge of the conference, so we believe he was getting there to help set up.
And then just the city bike, if I may. Do we know where that city bike is now? Does he dock it or does he keep riding it?
We're still tracking video. The last we see with him on that bike is in Central Park.
Is there a way to track that bike?
There are GPSs on those bikes. We'll be working with the company. We're working through that cell phone. Obviously, we'll be processing it forensically. And as far as words being exchanged, we do not have audio of the incident. We only have the regular video.
Nothing from witnesses.
Nothing. Well, there was one witness standing right next to the victim when he was shot. We're still trying to identify that victim.
What? There's a witness standing next to him that they haven't talked to yet? Would the guy just say, oh, fuck, this guy got shot to me, I'm just gonna walk home? Didn't talk to the police? Holy shit.
Excuse me, that witness.
Checked into the hotel across the street alone. Was he in the city alone? Was he accompanied by anybody? Did he have any known enemies or anyone that you've been able to find so far?
Known enemies, yeah. The CEO of a healthcare company that apparently is known to stiff people for coverage when they need it the most, when people are down bad, sick, or injured. CEO has been receiving death threats about lack of coverage, his wife has said. A lawsuit was filed in 2023 that United Healthcare was using an AI model with 90% error rate to deny care. Don't know if this chart's real. Claim denial rates by insurance company, United Healthcare is 32%. I don't know if I believe that, because that's insane if that's real. 32%? This person says they're a healthcare worker and United Healthcare frequently denies requests for care in first attempt and then approves it for people who persistently appeal. So you have to basically beg your insurance company, apparently.
Like I said, we're reaching out to law enforcement in Minnesota, and we're also interviewing his co-workers and family members to see if there have been any specific threats against him in the past. As far as who was he in the hotel with, we're doing a search warrant in his hotel room right now. That might lead us, give us some more information. From watching the video, it does seem that he's proficient in the use of firearms, as he was able to clear the malfunctions pretty quickly.
I'm just confused why he went inside a Starbucks, though, because that shows inexperience. Everything else is like this guy's kind of experience, right? He's got the silencer, he clears the jams, he's calm, he leaves quickly, no mistakes, besides going on camera in a fucking Starbucks.
And identify the shooter or recover that firearm. You know, you see a glimpse of the gun in video, so we're not able to make a determination on whether or not a silencer was used on that quick glimpse of video. We can't tell it from that little glimpse of video. I'm not going to commit to saying that at this time.
It looks like a silencer. It's fucking, unless it's goddamn extended barrel.
Be part of our investigation. There's a cell phone recovered in the alleyway, and once again, we will process that forensically and see if it comes back to the shooting. Based on the current video that we do have, it doesn't appear that they crossed paths, and he arrived in New York on Monday.
Chief, did he typically travel with a security detail? And even though it's early, is there anything to indicate that there had been issues with, let's say, a patient who was denied coverage either back in Minnesota or more recently, someone who lives here?
From speaking to other employees that traveled with him to New York, it doesn't seem that he had a security detail. He left the hotel by himself, was walking, didn't seem like he had any issues at all. So I don't think he did not have a security detail.
And as far as denied coverage, I know that's typically an issue with these major companies. Any reason to believe he had been the subject of a threat?
Once again, we're looking at everything. We're looking at his social media. We are interviewing employees. We are interviewing family members. We will be speaking to law enforcement in Minnesota.
In May, Hollywood Firefighters Pension Fund had filed a lawsuit against Thompson alleging he had sold over $15 million of United Health stock, despite being aware of an active Justice Department antitrust investigation to the health insurance company that he did not disclose to investors or the public. So clearly, he's had some drama going on over the last year or so. $15 million of drama. Though United Health, the lawsuit alleges, was aware of the Justice Department investigation since at least October 23, the public would only learn of the case when the Wall Street Journal published a story about it on February 27, 2024. When news of the investigation broke, it erased almost $25 billion in shareholder value. But by that time, Thompson had already cashed out, selling over $15 million in personally held United Health shares. What did I just discover here? What does this mean? Killer of United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson, 27, 2024. When news of the investigation broke, it erased almost $25 billion in shareholder value. But by that time, Thompson had already cashed out, selling over $15 million in personally held United Health shares.
Family members, we will be speaking to law
to the health insurance company that he did not disclose to investors or the public. So clearly, he's had some drama going on over the last year or so. $15 million of drama. Though United Health, the lawsuit alleges, was aware of the Justice Department investigation since at least October 20.
Interesting. If true, the account affirmed the countless internet memes depiction of Thompson as a Riparia's health insurance executive fat cat.
2023. The public would only learn of the case when the Wall Street Journal published a story about it on February 27, 2024. When news of the investigation broke, it erased almost $25 billion in shareholder value. But by that time, Thompson had already cashed out, selling over $15 million in personally held United Health shares. What did I just discover here? What does this mean? Killer of United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson wrote deny, defend, and depose on bullet casings. Oh, this is deeper than we think here. Someone asked ChatGPT what that means. Crisis management by elites, context, and conspiracy theories about powerful elites. The terms could describe their
Deny, defend, depose.
approach to suppressing scandals. It's common sense. Deny, publicly refute accusations or evidence. Defend, use resources, influence, or media to justify actions or discredit accusers. Depose, remove or silence whistleblowers, dissenters, or opposing figures. This is some deep shit. Why did that guy write that on the shell casings? So he planned to use 3 bullets for this? This is fucking insane. So this could be someone who United Healthcare fucked over, someone he personally fucked over with money. It could be a hit for anything, dude. This guy's the CEO of a major healthcare company. I don't know if we're ever going to find out. I feel like this guy's never going to be seen again. Like, for real, this is going to be a cold case or some shit, dude. That's my prediction. Comment down below what you guys think. Hit subscribe. I love you guys. Peace out.
Hey, what's up, world? It's your man, Carl.
It depends. It depends how high up it goes. If it doesn't go as high up as we think, then they're gonna want to know exactly who this came from, and then they could easily find out who did this. Just because everybody's tracked. And they can track you back for days. Not like an hour or two. No, they can track you back for days, months. So, if you're in a major city, that is. If you're in the outskirts, no, they can't do nothing like that. Or if you're in like a major city with just cameras and type of AI technology and all that shit, yeah, it's over with. They can literally watch what you've been doing for weeks. Until that nigga took off that mask, where he lived, like, all that shit. But, depending on who that nigga knows, and depending on who wanted that nigga gone, he is a CEO of a healthcare company. Nigga, if it was a hit high enough, like, nigga, you ain't listening to the bosses and you doing whatever you want, and they just got rid of you, yeah, we'll never know. Because that information I just told you will not be used to help find that nigga. And that's exactly most likely what happened. He fucked over the wrong person. It's probably closer than you think. Me, I would be checking his own board. Who gains if this guy's dead on the board? Who are they in business with? Then again, too, you seen what they said about United Health.
Well, now to the apparent murder of United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson in New York City.
Police say gunmen shot Thompson from behind as he came out of a Manhattan hotel this morning. The incident captured on surveillance video. Eyewitness News reporter Carlos Guanda joining us now with the latest developments.
Well, police say this was definitely a targeted shooting, and they now believe the motive could be a grudge against the insurance company. Now, this all occurred in busy Midtown Manhattan on 6th Avenue. Surveillance video shows the moments the violence unfolded, and a warning, this video.
We
actually have some breaking news just coming in the search for the gunman in yesterday's shocking killing of United Healthcare CEO. Police have released this. Look at this new photos coming in.
What did I tell you? What did I tell you, Chat? These cameras can follow you back for days. It's not like, oh, I left my phone at home. No. The camera has a mind, and it can track you for days. At 7 p.m. he was here. At 6:30 he was here. At 5:30 he was here. A list of where your ass been, nigga. So you think, oh, I didn't have my mask on for today. Oh, I didn't have my mask on for 2 days. Well, fuck it. We're just going to watch him for the past 3 days. The cameras have been watching him every day of his life. Yeah, I ain't going to lie. It's highly illegal. I ain't going to lie. That shit dumb illegal. But it is what it is. It is what it is. And just this picture alone, they're going to be able to tell you everything about this guy, though.
Showing the suspected gunman unmasked inside a hostel. Looks like he's smiling right there. This in the Upper West Side in New York City. CNN Chief Law Enforcement and Intelligence Analyst John Miller joins us now. This is a big piece of evidence in this investigation, John.
Well, it's a turning point. You know, we have been asking the metaphoric question, who is the man behind the mask? At least we don't know who is the man behind the mask, but we see the face behind the mask now. And, police worked with these images. This is at a youth hostel, which is on the Upper West Side. They were there yesterday, last night, actually searching a room that they believe the gunman stayed in. They believe this is a picture of him. He kept the jacket on and the hood up and the mask
And
up.
look, that's how they get away with, like, nobody knows about how they be able to do this. It's easy. All you gotta say was anonymous tip, and you'd be like, anonymous tip? How many freaking anonymous tips do they randomly get? No, nigga, that shit was not random. This shit ain't random. This is AI analyzing thousands and thousands of pictures.
Almost at all times, according to people.
Sad to say, but it's true.
In that hostel. But there was this moment at the front desk in the lobby where the mask came down, and you see that smile. And this is so far the only image of his face without a mask, the best image police have. And what they said is, even though it's not quality where you would generate a facial recognition image or something that would bring you to a mugshot if he had a record, what it is it's an image that if you knew him, a coworker, a friend, a family member, you would say, that's so-and-so. And that's why they're releasing it right now. They're trying to speed this up by literally crowdsourcing this clue to the general population.
Yeah, I mean, they clearly need the public's help, as it's now been more than 24 hours with this person, the suspect, on the loose. I mean, where do investigators...
So you got to think you're in Manhattan. So if you go in this store, you got a camera. That store got a camera. That store, you got a camera. That place, you got a camera. So all they really have to do is just go back and follow exactly where you've been until you
think he is
put the freaking mask down.
At this point.
Well, so this is a turn in the investigation. The idea that there was some thinking earlier on that he was a New Yorker because of the savvy way he moved through Midtown, stashed a e-bike.
That's why one of the hardest crimes for them to solve is the ones where there's just a lot of people, because nigga, the cameras can't even show you that shit. Just figuring there's 1,000 people, and bullets start ringing out. If a nigga only shot like 3 times, good luck finding out who's the one who shot. Or good luck, if it's a shootout, good luck figuring out who shot first. You know, that's a whole different story. That's a whole different ball game. But these easy ones, 1 and 2, okay. If this guy was smart, he didn't have any kind of phone on him. But even if he didn't have a phone on him, like I told you, they can just follow you and be like, all right, he was here, he was there, who's doing that. They don't even have to personally follow you. They just have to like I told you, like write your name down, and then the AI already know where you've been. The AI can just tell you where you've been instantly. It's a different world. Is it against your constitutional rights? Probably. Probably most 100% sure. 100%. It is what it is, though.
Navigated through Central Park.
But hey, if it works,
up to
I guess that's how to think about it.
Upper West Side, was seen on the Upper West Side earlier in the morning before the shooting, carrying a battery for that bike. It suggested a familiarity that suggested maybe he was a New Yorker, but the idea that he stayed in a hostel up there for 2 days in a room for 4, but there were 2 other men sleeping in there, so he stayed with 2 strangers. That may change the leaning towards someone who came from out of town and tried to stay in a place that would have a minimum number of cameras and not cost very much, and the kind of place where people don't notice people because it's very transient.
Do you know more about the timeline in terms of when these pictures were taken and this rare moment, as you said, where he put his mask down at the front desk at this hostel before the shooting? It just strikes me that he's in this picture smiling.
You know, I don't have the precise timeline, but in that police were up there yesterday and last night. They did a search of the room. The hotel, of course, cooperated with them and got these, the hostel rather, got these images. It suggests he was probably there Tuesday and Wednesday, but give or take a day. That's something investigators know. We have people up there now talking to them, and something we'll know soon, but it appears to be very recent.
What do police do in this situation, John, when, you know, it's been more than 24 hours, he's still on the loose, he could very well be outside of New York City and beyond? I mean, how far do they cast the net at this point looking for him?
Well, I mean, the real net is global, which is he could have gone to Kennedy Airport, got on a flight, and be anywhere in the world right now, which is another reason to release these photos, which show the face. But I think the current thinking is he came in from outside New York, stayed at this transient location, did the job he came for, and is probably back where he came from, which is yet another reason to put these photos out, because is he from Minnesota, where United Health is headquartered? Is he from Montana or Nebraska or somewhere that has nothing to do with this? Or is he from, you know, Pennsylvania? That's the wild card, and this may help spur that in terms of the crowdsourcing from the public.
Quickly, John, given all of your experience in law enforcement, how quickly, typically, after pictures like this that are pretty clear of his face come out, do you hear from someone who knows the person?
Usually very quickly. You know, I think of the last couple of serial killer cases that
Yeah, it's funny how quick. I'm trying to tell y'all this. Y'all not listening to me. So many markers that the AI can use to know it's you. And like I tell you, they don't have to arrest you just because what the AI said. But that alone is going to make them be like, you know what? Let's investigate this guy. Y'all think I'm lying? I'm telling you. That nigga, it's definitely going to be like the AI just give you suggestions. But them suggestions can get a nigga. And the AI be wrong. That's mostly what this comes. It's an invasion of privacy. And the AI be wrong too. Shit crazy out here.
I was involved in the NYPD, where we finally got a full face shot with good lighting, and within hours of putting that out, we had people calling in saying, I know who that is. I'm pretty confident.
Yeah, I bet. I know who that is. I'm trying to tell y'all, man. It's the AI who knows who that is, man. And this situation is for good. But who knows? Next situation, it may not be for good.
A brutal crime and the possibility of everything being prevented leaves Houston devastated.
Yeah, I don't really want to. I've been getting tired of listening to some of these violent ass stories, bro. Nigga just did something. I don't even want to say it. Just did some gruesome shit. I'm be like, hey, I'm really getting tired of seeing those stories, bro. Yeah, he did this and that. I'm like, for what? Nigga, people are violent as hell, fam. That shit crazy. I swear to God. He what? He burned the whole house down. See, I'm not even going to get into detail. That's the PG version of what the heck what the hell has been going on the streets is crazy. Yeah, people ain't got no soul. I ain't gonna lie. These niggas ain't got zero cares. You see? She ate a cat outside her. Okay, yeah. That's enough. You see? I was just scrolling down and a random video said, yeah, she ate a cat. Like, what the heck is going on? Of course, they're not going to show the actual video, but even, some of the stories be more gruesome than the freaking video. And then they had the deep ass voice with the dude saying, yes, and then he tied him up. And then he came back with a knife, stabbed her 332 times. I'm like, why the hell did nigga sound happy that he knows this information? Them boys need to chill out with those videos.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Marketing Monday, Emergency Edition on a Wednesday. Yes,
what the hell kind of intro was that? That nigga was too happy.
Event happened that requires us to no longer talk about What's Up Beijing, but enter an entirely new segment called Annyeonghaseyo, Yo, South Korea. Welcome to the world of South Korea, one of the largest economies in the world in East Asia. As someone mentioned the exchange program that I was in. Yes, indeed, I did spend about 8 months living in South Korea during college. This is me eating Korean food and enjoying life there and going to Korea University, which is the second best university in Korea. Fuck you, Yonsei University. You suck. And of course, while there, I did also do a little bit of research on the local culture, which included taking 21 shots on my 21st birthday and then blackout, not remembering the entire night. I could never drink Jack Daniels ever again. A little bit of backstory before we get to modern day, okay? Because South Korea is not a country where those in power have it easy. Let's start with South Korea first became its own independent nation right after World War II with their first leader, Lee Suk-min. His term ended by fleeing the country after protesters surrounded the Blue House, their equivalent of the White House. The next leader was overthrown in a coup. The next leader was assassinated. This guy overthrew the previous guy in a coup and then was later assassinated. Then the next guy was ousted by a military coup. Then the next guy finished his term and then was sentenced to death. Then the next guy was sentenced to 22 years in prison.
Jesus.
Then the next guy was in prison until winning the election, then came out to become the president. He had the previous two ones arrested. But he hit a record low 6% approval. When he came into office, he had 96%. He dropped 90% approval over his term in 5 years. Next guy, sentenced to death and imprisoned, and later won the Nobel Peace Prize. That's kind of a W, all things considered. We're not skipping anybody. What all you understand is that everyone I'm showing, this is in a row. This guy who was president when I was there, and although he was arrested on corruption charges, I think he's probably just misunderstood because he went to Korea University, which is where I went. I remember going to the school and they had posters of him everywhere because he was president at the time, and they were like, wow, he came from here. Anyway, then we got the first female president in South Korea's history. And to prove she can do it just as well as the men, she also was sentenced to 20 years in prison for corruption and abuse of power. And also she was insane. Then we got to this guy, Moon Jae-in. This guy kind of just got a dub. I mean, he had controversies, don't get me wrong, but was the only one to get in and out of office still popular. Of all the Korean presidents, he broke the streak. Made it out alive, not in prison, and still popular. Then we get to today. Yoon Suk-yeol, the current president of South Korea. And he, well, he's a bit of a charmer.
A long, long time ago.
Damn, South Korea is getting down like that?
Remember how the music used to make me smile. I really felt my chains. I could make those people dance. They be happy.
Look how impressed Biden is. He seems pretty likable.
Bad news on the doorstep.
My man, let's go. Not to mention, he's got fur babies. So you know, millennials gotta love him. He's got a kitty named Kitty. And Sunny and Kitten. He's got a kitty named Kitty and Kitten. Unfortunately, since then, his popularity has taken a little bit of a dip. These are the 5 most recent opinion polls, which have him hovering at around 19%. He's fallen as low as, I think, 12. Pretty generational fall over the last just 2 years of his term. The number one thing they're mad about, and this is true of every country, is cost of living and the economy. Again, he's had plenty of scandals, and they're all deserved. All right, you should go look into them. But again, it's the economy. The number one thing South Koreans are mad about is the economy. In the last 2 years of rising disapproval, the opposition party have made louder and louder calls for his impeachment. His party, the Conservative Party in Korea, just lost a parliamentary election, which makes it all but guaranteed that he's not gonna be able to get anything passed and may even get impeached. So, shockingly, 2 nights ago, in the middle of the night, with no forewarning, he does a televised TV address to the whole nation where he declares martial law to protect the Free Republic of Korea from the threat of North Korean communist forces. This is, again, out of nowhere in the middle of the night. He says martial law to protect you from the threats of North Korean communist forces. We have to eradicate the shameless pro-North Korean anti-state forces that are plundering the freedom and happiness of our people, and to protect our free constitutional order by suspending our constitution, suspending all opposition parties, and enforcing the military to also block access to the media. Now, the only way to stop martial law when it's imposed by a president in South Korea is get a majority vote in parliament. He obviously knew that going in, so he had the military surround parliament to uphold his decision and enforce martial law so that nobody can make this vote. At the same time as this announcement, the Korean won tanked, absolutely fucking tanked. So the economy's also collapsing over, because of the unrest of this. The market does not like this crazy uncertainty. There's martial law and economic near collapse happening in the same night. So he has decided he's gonna fight the democracy of his country. Turns out it did fight back. People immediately ignored the order and took to the streets. There was mass public protests. The journalists that were banned showed up and did their job. This is South Korean journalist literally fighting with the military to get her camera. This is a South Korean leader of the opposition party who live streamed himself sneaking over the barricade to get into the building to vote. W's in the chat. Yeah, they call this the Talvin E takes Ghost. Not everyone was able to make it inside the military guarded building, but 190 were, and they filled up the building enough to get a majority vote. The entire time there's fighting happening around and in the building as the military tried to stop this from happening. These are lawmakers using fire extinguishers, and they also had mirrors with lights on them to stop soldiers from getting in.
공간 진입했다고. YTN
It's an insane public groundswell against a coup, and they blocked the soldiers from entering, which gave people the ability to vote. And they did vote to reverse the martial law, 190 or 180 to 0. You're probably thinking, okay, he ignored their wishes to start the martial law. Why the fuck is he gonna care if he has access to the military? And that is a big question. But the leader of South Korea forgot the first rule of a coup. The first rule of committing a coup is that everybody has to think you're going to win. Most people in a country are fence sitters, and they don't want to choose a side because they're afraid of getting punished by the side that wins. This is just natural human response. Well, it turns out that if you're very unpopular, everyone in the country is taking to the streets and the politicians are unanimously defying you, the military and everyone starts realizing that you're not gonna win. And all of a sudden they want to backtrack as soon as possible. The military very quickly stands down after the vote, and then he has no allies. The president, only 6 hours later, is forced to abandon the martial law and say, no, I'm taking it back. Everyone knows what happened. This is a failed coup. Now, he is certainly going to get impeached over a random martial law declaration in the middle of the night. All this whole thing happened in 6 hours. In fact, Skara and Offline TV, who were in...
What was his problem, chat? Do you know?
Korea for this, Skara overslept and missed the whole thing.
I would tell you, but you're gonna call me gruesome. He did the first problem that most people do in this new age. Because of popularity, they think they can do a bloodless coup. It doesn't work like that. You see all those people he faces? Those is opposition. Those are the guys who have the power. Without them, the corporations are going to follow you. Everybody's going to follow you. So they are your main op. So you don't tell nobody you have a coup. He had the element of surprise, but he didn't eliminate the ops. It should have been quick and decisive. I know it sounds gruesome. That's fucked up. I'm just telling you how it would be if you would try to win this type of thing. It would be like something like a bomb the whole building full of all their over with. Who y'all gonna choose now? Force their hand. But at the same time, of course that can backfire. If everybody blames you, somehow you gotta make it not seem like it's you. But if everybody think it's you, there's a good chance they're gonna hang you for this shit. If you don't take complete control. But we never have to worry about that because shit like that don't happen in America. It would never happen. As you can see, it would never happen, bro.
And if you just...
And I ain't gonna call this freedom. I'm gonna call this, they like the idea of the semblance of freedom that we think we have, but in reality, it's a whole bunch of old people, 70 years old, that control us too. But, you know, it's not even them because they're controlled by rich people that own this whole fucking country through corporations. They don't call them Fortune 500 for no reason, a whole bunch of other shit. So, you know, the rich is gonna do what the rich do, and the niggas who don't have shit like us is gonna do what the hell we gotta do. So it is what it is.
I saw this as one little weird day. You might be thinking, oh, that's funny, but it was a crisis averted. This is a serious indication of where democratic societies are heading globally. The fact is, every incumbent party, regardless of party, is getting so deeply unpopular. Olaf Scholz in Germany is unpopular. Macron in France, approval rating falls to 23%. Kishida in Japan, most unpopular leader since 1947. As we hit like the end game of bad economy democracy, our choices are impeachment, prison, or martial law and changing the rules. Now, the first person to try this is in Korea, and they failed spectacularly. But I don't think the lesson here is that it'll never work. I think the lesson that leaders are learning from this is how to do it, not never to do it. What worries me is that in a place like, let's not even say
exactly. How to do it, not never to do it. Exactly. Yeah, he did it as almost as wrong as you can do. Freaking Pablo Escobar did it better than he did.
America, but imagine
Pablo Escobar messed up too.
In a different country where they're not.
What he did, he went too far. You know, everything is cool until you blow up a plane full of people. Then nigga, everything you gotta say is out the window. That's over with.
Gun shy. The military might have had more of an impact here. They were very loath to shoot.
Yeah, he was stupid. He should have just stayed in the prison and chilled.
In this today,
but he got too greedy.
Hey, the day after all of this Korean situation, France had a historic vote of
France's
no
government
confidence.
has collapsed.
Macron appointed Barnier as the new prime minister. Bro barely lasted longer than Liz Truss. Again, people are so fucking mad, and they are ping-ponging back and forth. Out of frustration and anger, these situations are powder kegs for more authoritarian actions by leaders. So I've been getting some pushback from people who think I've become a closet Republican or something because I've been critical of some center-left politicians like Kamala Harris or Justin Trudeau. I've been talking about them more. And what I want to do is explain a little bit what I'm talking about here. Now, if I were to meet Trudeau as an average citizen, not a leader, he seems like a nice guy. There's a lot of things we would agree on. Generic ballpark social issues, I got no qualms with someone like Trudeau. He wants to keep Roe v. Wade. He doesn't want to discriminate against LGBTQ people. He wants women to be paid the same as men. Great. I agree with all of these things. Here's the problem. Just agreeing with these things doesn't automatically make you a good leader. For me, that's like table stakes. That means fucking nothing. You have to solve these problems. Housing affordability in Canada has skyrocketed. Nobody can fucking get a house. Wage growth has not kept up with inflation. If you agree with these things, but you can't solve these problems, you're actually doing these things a disservice. You are hurting these issues because regular people see they tie that stuff with grocery prices going up, and then they flip to the most insane parties in the world. And by the way, this is on pretty much both sides of the aisle. I mean, again, the guy in Korea was deeply conservative and he's 22%. We are being let down by incompetent leaders, like people who are incompetent, people who don't understand the basics of making the economy run. And so whether or not they agree with this stuff is not my main concern. And so when I'm critical of them, it's because they are hurting these things. All of these governments' debts on both sides of the aisle is ballooning. Every government outside of possibly Germany is absolutely out of control. And I know that when you get to trillions and billions of dollars of government debt, it gets confusing. And I'd like to make a whole separate video talking about this, but you just have to understand that we're getting to the point for a lot of countries, not necessarily the US yet, but for a lot of countries where nobody even wants to buy their fucking IOUs. They're printing IOUs to pay for things and nobody wants to buy them. We're getting to the end of the cycle where they have to start raising taxes, cutting spending, or they don't have the money. We are no longer in a stage where incompetent, middle of the road people can be leaders. The problems are too tough. We have to get sharper people in office or it's going to get worse. And that's this week's Marketing Monday. Thanks for watching. So you're saying Canada should vote?
Yeah, he's right. He's right. He's 100% right. Crazy.
Justin Bieber for prime minister. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Because he at least apologized. You know what I'm saying? Even though we thought it was too late to say sorry, he still did it.
He is 100% right. We have to start getting competent leaders or we're gonna lose. Not just ones that just yapping and saying stuff that like it ain't gonna help us. We don't even have universal health care. We got healthcare niggas getting killed because they tired of people saying that, like, bro, people getting tired, bro. I told y'all. But I told y'all that though. I told y'all that. No one has to do anything because eventually people are going to get fed up. That's exactly what's been going on, bro. I've been telling y'all that. Nigga so fed up he freaking killed the damn CEO. He fed up, nigga. He done. Alright, chat, listen, I gotta go do this shit real quick, right? So I'm gonna come back. I'm gonna stay on for like 15 more minutes, but after that I gotta come back. Cause I gotta go do this shit.
Oh shit!
Oh wait, no. I'm on YouTube. Can't do that. But no worry, I'm gonna be streaming. When I come back later on, I'm gonna be streaming like a long time. I don't know how long, but a long time. Probably gonna stream like 8 hours or something.
Syria is at war again. Over the weekend, one of the world's oldest cities in Syria's economic capital, Aleppo, fell swiftly to the might of the rebel alliance led by the Hayat Tahrir al-Sham group, a former al-Qaeda affiliate in Syria. It was a sudden and unexpected attack that has since shaken the entire Middle East, causing chaos and confusion. This historic and unprecedented onslaught may mark the end of Syria as we currently know it, and signal the birth of something entirely new. In this video, we're going to unravel the latest events in Syria. We'll break down the key players, explore the humanitarian crisis, and reflect on the incredible resilience of the Syrian people. Capture more than 47 villages surrounding Aleppo in a well-planned attack that significantly weakened the power and control of the Syrian government.
Walmart is joins growing list of companies to roll back diversity programs.
Morning, a major decision at Walmart, not about holiday sales, but about diversity programs, also known as DEI programs. It's joining a growing list of companies rolling them back.
This morning, the world's largest retailer says it's rolling back some of its diversity, equity, and inclusion policies. Walmart, which employs more than 1.5 million Americans, joins a list of major corporations revising DEI initiatives. The company saying every decision comes from a place of wanting to foster a sense of belonging, to open doors to opportunities for all our associates, customers, and suppliers.
This is the single largest employer in the United States. We are talking about a company that is worth almost.
This guy getting play is so gross. Robbie Starbuck. Yeah, it's real, man. This is really what happened. He is a prominent figure in the Republican movement.
$1 trillion on its own.
Robbie Starbuck, a political commentator and anti-DEI activist, celebrated the development. He's previously pressured companies, including Lowe's and John Deere, to change their policies.
We were able to have frank conversations with Walmart. And as I've said for a long time, I don't ask companies to take on my political views. I am simply advocating for corporate neutrality.
You guys gotta be careful because, like, nobody else is gonna take those guys. Nobody else. If you think, oh yeah, white men are gonna be running to Walmart if you can get a job there, no, it's not gonna. They're getting exactly the people they can afford, bro.
Walmart says many of the changes to its DEI programs were already planned and not a result of conversations with Starbucks. The company is pledging to better monitor third-party marketplace items to make sure they don't feature sexual and transgender products aimed at minors. Walmart says it will also review its funding to Pride events and will end racial equity training.
Review funding to Pride events and racial equity Training programs for staff.
Programs for staff. GLAD, an LGBTQ advocacy group, has said we cannot let fear and fringe anti-LGBTQ activists dilute the work that has been done in the name of visibility, acceptance, and opportunity.
Companies need to listen to our movement. We are powerful and growing every single day. We will not stop until we have eliminated wokeness in corporate America.
Walmart also says it will no longer consider race and gender as a way to increase diversity when offering supplier contracts.
Walmart is a great American company and the nation's largest retailer, more than 1.6 million American employees alone, and annual global revenue of nearly $650 billion.
My controversial opinion is that nothing is going to change, at least in this sector. They're taking shit off the shelves. They did this. Yeah, I mean, the garbage, like, LGBTQ branded product that, like, that's not moving the needle. It's already bullshit to begin with. It's like, oh, on Pride Month, we're doing this. Now, the response is worse. It's worse to just like put out that garbage and then only to take it, take it away as though you are caving and capitulating to this like right-wing mob. I think that is not good. It's infinitely better to just never have this to begin with. Or if you're going to have it, then just don't take it off the shelves. It's a self-own. It's an own goal for no fucking reason whatsoever. But in terms of like,
it's like an easy compromise. Like, okay, bet. Making people happy just by taking that shit that's worth nothing. Yeah, you're right about that.
Stopping our DEI initiatives or whatever like, I think, I don't know. I mean, I don't think this is going to change anything. LGBT books are nice, man. No, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about in like rainbow colored t-shirts or whatever the
but
overall, I don't think that they're going to change their like hiring practices dramatically. They're just saying that they're moving away from DEI initiatives, whatever the that means. I don't think that that's a real. I don't think that there is any sort of real change, especially because a lot of the DEI practices was simply just like HR shit. Like they're not going to be like, we're no longer hiring gay people. You know what I mean?
I'm happy to say we're joined now for an exclusive interview with John Furner, the president and CEO of Walmart US. John, thank you very much for joining us. I want to get into holiday shopping. I want to get into grocery prices, but I got to ask you off the top to talk about this report I'm reading in today's Wall Street Journal about how Walmart is pulling back on diversity, equity, and inclusion programs under pressure from a conservative activist. So a few of the changes here.
Like, I hate that this is the peak of activism in America, is like always centered around consumption. You know what I mean? Walmart puts out like, I don't know, gay t-shirts or something. And then they're like, oh, I'm so sorry. We're going to take away the gay t-shirts. It's like, was the initial act even all that significant in terms of progress?
They're phasing out the term DEI, winding down the Center for Racial Equity, no longer giving priority treatment to suppliers based on race or gender diversity, and preventing sellers from listing some transgender-related or themed items on the website. So is that accurate from what you're hearing, and why the changes?
Well, first of all, good morning, and thanks for having me. It's great to be here. I'm in Houston, Texas, in our Friendswood location, so it's exciting to be in the store this time of year. First, let me say, like many companies all across the United States, we've been on a journey, and we continue to be on a.
The other part of this that I fear is like that right-wing Republicans see this as a massive victory, and so they'll move on to other more nefarious things that actually do end up harming gay people and trans people and shit like that. And also outside of that, this is seen as like giving the go-ahead to open up the faucet of hatred against marginalized communities in general, that like corporations are no longer even aesthetically in support of these marginalized groups.
A journey. And what we're trying to do is to ensure that every customer, every associate feels welcome here to shop and to feel like they belong. And that term belong, we've been talking about belonging now for almost 2 years.
CEOs coming in, stack the product like pyramids. Yeah, that's looking great. His background looks great.
Years, early 2023, we started talking about belonging. And we're going to continue to make the best decisions we can that makes everyone, our customers, our associates, feel like this is an environment they can shop in and thrive in.
Is diversity among your suppliers still important to you at Walmart, John?
Well, starting with our company back in 1962, we were a small business, a single store that operated out of Rogers, Arkansas. And so we'll continue to do the things that we can do to ensure that small suppliers have a path to being successful, not only at Walmart, but in their business in total. You know, every year we really focus on made in the USA. About 2/3 of what we sell is either made, grown, or assembled right here in the United States. We have a program every summer called Open Call, where we welcome in small suppliers and we welcome in people that have an idea, that are an entrepreneur and they want to learn. So we're going to continue to lean into ensuring that we provide the very best pathways for small businesses, our suppliers, to be successful here in the store. If I had more time, I could take around the store and show you a few of those examples, but there are a lot of them and there'll continue to be more.
All right, John, you mentioned that 2/3 of what you have is made in the U.S. Let's talk about that other third. President-elect Trump announced last night that on his first day in office, he will impose a 25% tariff on all products imported from Canada and Mexico. So how will that impact Walmart? What have y'all done to actually prepare for that? Have you guys been stockpiling in anticipation of these tariffs?
Well, first, I'll just say again, about 2/3 of what we sell is made, grown, or assembled here in the United States, and we've been very supportive all the way back to our founder of products that are made in the United States. Just a couple of days ago, someone sent me a photo of Mr. Walton, actually my father, who worked at the company with the president of Lodge, one of our brands that's here in the store, in camping cookware. So we'll be ready to be we'll adjust to any environment. We've been in an environment with tariffs now for the last 7 years. And we have a team of people that are really experienced in managing.
Yeah, these avocados you see behind me have been assembled in the United States in an American facility, okay? Yes, it was picked in Mexico and shipped into the United States from Mexico, but we assembled it here.
Changes in the environment. Now, our purpose is to try to keep prices low, to help people save money and enable them to live better. Now, certainly there'll be some occasions.
Damn, dude, Walmart seems dope. When you hear the CEO say, oh, our main purpose is not to farm American subsidies paid for by the tax dollars and heavily rely on the welfare state in an effort to refuse to pay any of our workers an honest wage, where me and my brothers and sisters own 50% of shares of the company. So every single day we edge closer and closer to being the wealthiest Americans, and as a collective we are the wealthiest family in America. But hey, we care about you. We don't care about that. We care about making sure costs are low, you know? That's one of the craziest parts about the Walton family, is that you directly, Walmart shares directly enrich them, 7 people. When they make moves, 7 total people are getting billions of fucking dollars directly in their pockets. It's crazy. It's not, oh, this guy's not a Walton. I thought maybe he was one of the I thought one of the CEOs was a Walton. No, I guess not. My bad. He's just the high paid, is he not? Wait. Hold on, let's look. Walmart CEO. Oh, wait. Oh, this is Doug McMillan? He looks very different here. What the fuck? Do I have face blindness? John Furner. Well, John Furner is the former CEO of Sam's Club. He began his career at Walmart in 1993. He became the president and CEO of Walmart US in November 2019. Walmart US and Walmart are different. He's wearing the same damn suit in the Wikipedia page. No, that's a gray one. Stuart Walton. Bro went employee to CEO, kind of nice with it. Yeah, they're just a small mom and pop shop, chat.
Where you may see some impact on price, but we'll do everything we can between our suppliers, our supply chain, and
I want to make a correction. It's not 50%. It's an estimated 45% of Walmart stock is held between the families of 7 heirs founders of Sam Walton and his brother Bud. I said it's around 50% or 50%. I was wrong. Is actually 45%.
Do everything we can to help ensure that we're as efficient as possible to keep prices as low as we can. And that's exactly what we do each and every day, including right now in the holidays.
Are you worried about the tariffs, though?
Well, we want to do everything we can, as I mentioned, to keep prices as low as possible. Right now, we just know what we've heard and what we've read about in the last 24 hours. And those changes, they may happen, they may not. That'll be up to the administration. But we'll be evaluating carefully. And we want to ensure that we have great values for our customers. I mean, this week we have a Thanksgiving basket where you can feed your family for under $7. And it's a quality meal. This is 29 ingredients, all proportioned appropriately. There'll be great deals on Friday.
This motherfucker's doing an ad, bro. He turned a question about why they're melting all the gay stuff off the shelves into how much they love feeding the poor and the hungry for an affordable price. And it's just straight up doing a fucking ad. This guy. Dude, because poor people need to know where to buy affordable shit, you're out of touch. As poors, we have to shop at Walmart because it's all we can afford. That store's the only way I can survive in America as a full-time government employee. Why are you yelling at me, dude? I didn't say there's something wrong with shopping at Walmart. I'm over here shitting on the CEO of Walmart. This motherfucker's like, because you talking shit on them? I'm done, dude. I'm done. No more political commentary. No more politics. No politic here. No politic. Yeah, of course I'm talking shit on the CEO of Walmart. Are you stupid? What's next, dude? I can't even talk shit about the Walton family without getting chirped. I didn't say shit about you, dumbass. What is happening? I thought this was a safe space where we could shit on a CEO of a multi-billion-dollar company that keeps costs low by exclusively refusing to allow their employees to unionize, refusing to pay them honest and living wages, knowing full well that they are a massive recipient not only of government subsidies, but also social safety nets like the SNAP benefits that their employees then turn around and use at Walmart. Super common criticism of Walmart. Like, you could get your liberal dad to...
Yeah, don't worry about some low prices, though. If Walmart actually had some competition, I would agree with you, but those prices are no. They're the only one who kept the prices low after the what's it called? But then again, I've been told y'all, everybody should be getting paid $20 an hour, man. Or you're effed. You're effed. $20 is bad. Really, you need $25 an hour, but $20 at the least. Minimum wage should be $20 an hour.
South Korea's president be like, the risk I took was calculated, but man, I am bad at math.
The South Korean president declaring martial law in a late-night TV address. CNN's Mike Valerio joining us now from Seoul.
All right, y'all, let me go do what I gotta do. I'm gonna come back later on. Thank y'all for watching. I'm your host, DJ Grumlock. This is Stay Woke TV. I'm gonna be back here in about like an hour or so, and we're gonna get to streaming. I'm gonna stream for like 8 hours or some shit like that. I'm not going nowhere. I'm just gonna take a nap. I'm tired. I'll see y'all next.